All right. So, a couple things, and April's got some points that she's going to bring up tonight in regards to our opportunity Zoom. I'll launch tomorrow night. Okay. But Nashville is 2.5 weeks away from tonight. And I just want to remind you, in case you weren't aware, registration for Nashville closes tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is the last day to register people for Nashville, even though it's still 2.5 weeks out. Now, if something and I'm going to be honest with you, if something comes up after tomorrow, reach out to us, okay? Because we know people that have some extra tickets and we know some people at the company, okay? But the official close of just going online and registering yourself, as a guest or registering a guest for yourself, closes out tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. As I had mentioned last week, we have time, April and I, to help out with three-way calls or three-way chats, or just some different stuff that's going on. We had been traveling a lot. We made a point of being home for the last 3.5 weeks before we go to Nashville. So in particular, if there's anything we can do to help, just let us know. But again, we are 4 days, not counting tonight, okay, 4 more days left in the month of February to close it out. And I would encourage you to check your tracker, see where you are in regards to having a track or 2 or 3. Okay, I would double check and make sure that you have your 300 points, so that you qualified. And remember, at least 150 of the 300 need to be customer volume points. Now, it could be all customer volume. Like some of you that are Onyx and Emerald and Sapphire and Diamond, you could have all your points to be qualified. There no longer is a personal purchase requirement. So just keep that in mind. But the most important thing that we can all be doing for this next 24 hours is the most important 24 hours of the month. It could be a make or break month, just deciding on what you decide to do over the next 24 hours. We have our opportunity launch Zoom tomorrow night. Okay, ideally, you started inviting yesterday or today, but there's still plenty of time, because when it comes to texting out reminders, normally the day before and the day of are the best to do it. Okay, those are the best times. You just can't give too much notice in advance on a Zoom. It just falls through the cracks. So, as you've all seen, the invite is on the left that you can use for posting, for stories, for sharing and texting. Okay, that's there. If you want to send out the link itself, because on the left, that's the Zoom ID number. Okay, so they'd have to go to Zoom and put that ID number in. If you want to send a hot link, then you use the middle, okay, where they get the HTTP link that takes them directly to Zoom, okay, and then obviously on the right is just a reminder that we should never be prejudging who will and who won't do this business. We should never be second guessing who could benefit from the products. Our responsibility is to share what we have with other people that are not aware of what we have. It's their responsibility to accept it, reject it, or delay it. Okay, that is not up to me and you to decide. Me and you, our responsibility is to share what we have and enlighten them on what's available. And then their choices are, as I said, accept it, reject it, or delay it. So anyway, with that, and I want to give you folks a chance to talk a little bit tonight too, but April has some great tips for you. So I want to stop sharing, and April, it's all yours.
Thanks. How's everybody doing? Good? Good? You all
Doing good.
excited? happy for Monday? You know, it's so funny. Bobby and
I
I
am
don't.
ready for Nashville is what I'm ready for.
Yeah, Bobby and I don't really have a Sunday, Monday I mean, we get confused with our days all the time lately. It's like it got to be Friday, and I'm like, it doesn't feel like Friday. And everybody's like, TGIF all day, happy Friday. And I'm like, okay. So, and in the holidays, President Day was like just another day for us. So it's kind of funny how that goes. Every day's a holiday. So I want to invite Jackie on. Jackie can go ahead and unmute. You know, as I said, I want to try to share more testimonies. You know, we probably don't make as much use of the Lifespan Matters, you know, as we should, but we have some really great testimonies in this group. And so, you know, every once in a while, and if you've got one, reach out. You know, I know Rhonda shared with us 2 weeks ago, but Jackie's brother had gotten some phenomenal results with the product. So Jackie, I'm just going to invite you to kind of share your testimony, which, you know, I know is just amazing. So if you could go ahead and share that.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I just going back a few years, back on December 5th of 2017, we had to do an intervention on my brother for alcohol. So we took him to Delray Beach, and my one sister described him as looking like he was 12 months pregnant. So we brought him to Delray Beach, and the next day he was in the emergency room there. They diagnosed him with ascites, which is a condition where your liver is in such bad shape, it's not functioning. And the fluid that goes through it goes right into your abdomen. So that's why he looks so pregnant. So they had to do a paracentesis on him at that time. It was so bad that he was getting it done probably every 4 to 6 weeks for a while. But when I finally got in touch with the GI doctor, and that took care of him down at Delray, he had told me to get my brother up to Orlando as soon as possible so he can spend the rest of his time with his family. So I asked him, I said, are you saying that my brother's dying? He goes, well, I'm not saying I won't say anything or put a time on it, but people in this condition usually don't last more than a year. So we were really quite concerned. And when I had spoken to Michael, another consultant with LifeVantage, in December, he told me that Protandim was probably the best product I could get my brother on for his liver. And so we didn't get him out of the rehab until February of 2018. And as soon as he came home, I put him on the Protandim, the Vitality Stack, actually. And, you know, the next day we had to bring him, actually, we got home during the day, then in the middle of the night, I had to bring him back up to the emergency room. And he had to have another paracentesis done. So when they were doing these, they were getting 8.7 liters of water from fluid from his abdomen. So he was in pretty bad shape. So when he finally got to the GI in Orlando here, while he was in the office with the GI doctor, the doctor was trying to get the transplant doctors on the phone. And he wasn't able to do that, but he was at my brother had to constantly call and try to get in to see the transplant doctors. Now, when he got home, he had the paracentesis done in February. Then he had it in March. He had one in May. And then the last one he had was July of 2018. He got to see the transplant doctors towards the end of 2018. And before that, even all his blood work was coming back, was getting better each time it was done, because he had to actually go for testing every 3 months. And when he finally got to the transplant doctors at the end of the year of 2018, their response to him was that you'll probably never need a liver. He does have scarring and things like that, but he said to them, he will probably never need a liver. And so he's at the place now that he was 3 years where he had to go every 3 months for testing. He is now down to once a year. And his doctor did comment one time and said to him, he says, well, maybe you weren't as bad as we thought you were. Okay. So my brother has made the decision never, ever, ever to come off the Protandim, because he knows that even though he was on medications, the doctors feel that what they were doing in their treatment was taking care of him. We know that the Protandim really did make a major contribution to his healing.
That's great. I love hearing that stuff. And I've heard that story from you a few times, but I always love hearing it again because it just confirms what we all kind of know in our heart. And I think the more that we hear this, it just gives us that energy to go out and share it, even when it's uncomfortable. All these great stories that we hear because we're just, sometimes we do get pushback from our family and our closest friends, but we know that we know that we know, and we just have to keep after our mission. And thank you so much for sharing that, Jackie. That's awesome. I love that. And I'm so happy for your brother and your whole family. And I know it means the world to you.
It does. It does.
That's
Super happy.
awesome.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay. So I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to share some slides with you. As Bobby said, I'm going to give you some tips on the launch that's coming up, and just some things that you can say and some ideas and maybe some spins on just this going out and talking to people every day. So let me go ahead and share. Let's get this. Okay, we got that. We got that. And okay, fine. Come up. There it is. Okay. Play slide. Okay. All right. You should all be able to see that then. I hope that's clear. We have some really bright colors today to kind of wake you up. So I hope it keeps everybody awake. I know Sunday nights can be tough, but especially if you've had a really good weekend. But how to invite to the launch. I'm going to tell you over the years with sponsoring people into this business, inviting people to Zooms, inviting people to in-person meetings, it's really all about what we say and how we direct that person. So, it's so funny that we can put people, and this is what I'm going to go through tonight, we can put the same people in a launch meetings, even though their goals are very different. So, when you think about the launch meeting, maybe you're thinking about, selling some pro tandem tonight, or maybe you're thinking it's just a collagen launch, and I'm only going to invite the people that maybe are interested in getting on the collagen. And I'm going to show you how to put some different spins on that because, over the years, Bobby and I, a lot of times doctors will give you pushback with multi-level marketing. They're like, oh, I don't want to do that multi-level marketing, stay away and stuff. And it's really all about what you tell them and how you direct them. With our other company, the owners of the company were not so fond of having doctors for one reason or the other. It was kind of silly stuff. We did all this business, well over 200 million with them. But it didn't matter what they were saying from the front of the room. When you invite somebody to it, you can give them the direction so that they see what they need to see. So that's kind of what I'm going to go through. But I want to talk about the launch too for tomorrow night. We create our own results, and it's really just based on what we're directing the person to. It's us doing the direction. It's not about the new person. It's what we say and how we say it, and more importantly, how we direct them. And that's the spin I'm going to put on it tonight. How we open and close the conversation totally needs to be about that person, their needs, their wants, and what is leading them to us, what kind of results so we can get there. So, as Bobby said before, our responsibility is to introduce new people to LifeVantage. That's it. And then I love this. This was something, he wrote The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, if you read that. It's an old book. I don't know, from, I don't know, the mid 2010s or whatever, a couple years old, but change is hard at first. And this is our business, is it not? Change is hard at first. You get in our business, you get super excited about it. We great product results. We have great products, but we kind of get stuck with going out and talking to new people because that middle part that we love so much is messy. And, even our pastor today was talking about, when you start to do things, you're not good at it. You suck at it. You absolutely suck at it, but you got to preserve through it so that you now become better at it. And you've heard me say this before, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. So change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end, if that's not our business, because everybody wants those results that we have at the end. One of the other things I couldn't take my phone out fast enough today was, it's not so much about our happiness today, but it's for the future. We're always working for the future, not only for ourselves, but maybe for our families and stuff. So we always need to be planning for the future. And that is really our business. So if you've not read any of his stuff, super, super cool. I want to take 2 minutes. I want you to scroll through your phone. And I want you to pick 3 business people and 3 product people now. We're not going to call them. I just want you to have, let's just take a break for a minute. Give me 3 names of what ifs. And actually, while you're doing this and you're scrolling through your phone, I'm going to tell you a story that just happened to me. And actually, it's funny, Jackie can relate to this. So we have a distributor in our business that has been not super active, to say the least, and has great potential, has great contacts. In fact, she even owns a salon. And so over the years, especially since we've gotten this collagen, I've tried to ask her, because the salon, you've got to agree, is a great place, because we could do the skincare for years, and then we came out with the serum that we were putting on, and then we had the mask, and we have so many things we could have done over the years, but could never get her to do what we now know as a sip and glow party. So going through my phone the last few days, I started to type in a text. Then I delete the text. Have you ever done that? Type in the text. I'm not going to call her now. So I'm going to delete the text again, And I finally said, oh, what the heck? And I sent it. And then I'm always like, oh, it's gone, And she got right back and said, yeah, she'd love to do it. So this is our business. We have to kind of almost force ourselves. And what is the big deal if she said no? Because the way that I did the text was, I'd love to have you do a sit and glow party, and, said the benefits of doing it at her salon. And if you're too busy, no worries. So she could have easily said you're too busy. So this is why we continually need to be doing these reach outs. So I hope you've picked 3 business people that you have in mind and 3 product people, because you've got to agree that reaching out for product or collagen at this point is a lot easier. And for women, obviously we all want to use a product first. We want to know it's a great product. We want to know we're in love with it before we actually look at a business. But what if you're a guy on the call tonight and you're stuck? You're like, the ladies are all doing collagen. So I recruit just as many men, male doctors, female doctors. It doesn't matter to me. I just have a different script for everyone I talk to, a different angle that I go with. So you can simply call somebody up, particularly if we're at this 24 hours before our next launch, hey, I called you because I have something exciting to share. You have to let them know, because they're running like, you haven't talked to me in a months, whatever. Why would you be calling out of the blue? They're already thinking, what do you want? So, you've got to ask them, just say, hey, I've called, I've got something exciting to share, but you have to ask them how their family is, how their job is, how are they doing? It would be impolite for you just to, you can imagine if somebody called you and just went into this blah, blah, blah about the launch. So let them know up front that you've got something exciting to share with them, but how are you doing? Allow them to talk, because you know what? They're talking. Maybe they just lost their job and this is an opportune time to talk about this. Maybe there's something going on with their family. Maybe somebody did get sick and you can share a story much like Jackie's or somebody else's, Rhonda's that was on a few weeks ago. You don't know. So you've got to ask these different things. But this is why I say the products are easy. It's easy to start a conversation with it. Would it be okay, if I could show you, from the comfort of your home, which puts everybody at ease, how to get more youthful skin, less wrinkles, less cellulite. That's a buzzword for all women. Would you give me 30 minutes tomorrow? If not, no worries. So I'll give you a minute, do a screenshot if you want to use something like that. Easy way to get people on tomorrow night. The benefits are there. And again, don't just do a broadcast text out to everyone. Take a few people and put some heart in it. Direct it at them, at what they want. This is a relationship business. It's not a spam business. So, if this fits the narrative for a few people, go ahead and put that there. But this is a way to invite people from the comfort of their home to see what's exciting and new in the skincare industry. And, most all ladies, if they're even remotely into skincare, concerned about pro-aging, anti-aging, this is where they're going to want to be. We don't care about the outcome. Time and time again, and I know the industry has some words, it's, I think the process, not the I forget the words that they use, but it's not about whether somebody says yes or no. We don't really care, because we do know that no doesn't mean, I have girlfriends that I've introduced the collagen to, they know what I'm doing. They see it on Facebook stories. And when I see them at tennis or in and about, they're all like, I'm interested in that collagen. I'll get back to you. They just never do. And even when I ask, they're not quite ready at that point. That's okay. They're sitting on the sidelines. They're thinking about it. It's all right. There's a lot of people out there that we can deal with. There's 365 million people here in the United States that we can deal with. And the cool thing is, a quarter of the baby boomers are now 65 and over of our population. So we really have, for our company, which our average age is 60 and over, we have a great, great opportunity. It just keeps getting better than if we were directing it to people that were in their 25 or 30s or whatever. So we don't care about the the outcome. But what about the business opportunity? This is some spins that you can put on and let people know what's going without talking about collagen. So if you know somebody that's very business focused, interested in making money, I'm calling you because I have a little known business opportunity that you might, I'm not saying you, I'm saying you might be good enough, you might not. I'm already doing the take back. I'm not sure I'm going to share this with you, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's a consumable product that recently launched, was projected to do $1 million a month, but has already done 60 million. That's more than three times the estimated sales, more than 3 times. So I'm putting some figures out there. And then I'll say, I've got this guy that's been super successful. He's going to show the money tomorrow night. Can you give me 30 minutes? Okay, so that's what I'm going to say to a guy to get a guy on the phone. I would also, when he says, yeah, I'll give you 30 minutes, I'd say, all right, they're going to talk about the products. I told you what a big target market that is. The ladies love this stuff. The guy's going to talk about the money at the end. Make sure you stay on to the end. I'm directing him to stay on the whole time, so that he just doesn't start seeing the collagen pictures and just is like, I'm out, So I've already told him big money being made here. He's concerned with the money that's being made, 3 times more than the company estimated. That's huge at this point. So, you can do this with a nail person, a gym owner, a doctor, it doesn't matter. So what if I could show you how to earn more while not adding more time to your day? Isn't that a lot of people that are trading time for dollars all day long? If I see this many patients, I make this kind of money. If I do this many sets of nails, I make this kind of money all day long. If they could add to that. And when I go into a doctor's office or whatever, I'm just like, how many patients you see a day? If we take a third of those and add $50 to each of those, and you do that, let's say you work 3 days a week, maybe 3.5 days a week, what does that mean to your income right there? But what if you go and you tell another doctor, that's another 400. Maybe he tells another doctor, that's another 400. So you can build that picture as big as you want, but this is for the person that sees a lot of people, but is always trading time for dollars. So we can use that as well. If you get a no, always ask, is it okay if I follow up in a month? Is it okay if I follow up in the future? Is it okay if we stay in contact? Because I am always dripping on a person. Some people they don't get used to new things super quickly. So you need to continue to drip on. It's almost like they need to warm up. And it's their thing, but they don't like change. I'm a person that doesn't like change. You'd probably have to drip on me a lot before I would make a change. But you need to drip on some people, give them more information before they act. So just always ask, hey, is it all right if I follow up in the future? Can we stay in contact in a month or whatever? This is the part that is where you're going to close the launch. And, this is your follow-up after the launch or after you send a video or whatever. You need to follow up and ask them, what did you love best? That's what I say for the girls when I talk about collagen. What excited you most? If we went over numbers, what interests you most, depending on who you're talking to, that's going to change a little bit. but make sure that you keep it in a positive. We don't want to say, what'd you think? Because when we do, what'd you think, people go negative on us. They don't go positive. So we need to look for the positive in it because people like to go to that negative. So I'm going to keep it positive by saying, what'd you love most? What interests you most? What were you most excited about? This is what I do. And Bobby can tell you, and every day I make sure I reach out to 1, 2, 3 people. I just make sure I go through my phone, I go through Facebook, actually just connected with somebody on LinkedIn, which I'm not even on. All of a sudden it came up. But I'm always making sure that I'm connecting with people over and over again. Now, this girl that on LinkedIn, time and time again she would be perfect for the collagen, but she's told me no. This time when I reached out, she said, you know what? I'm going to be in Orlando soon. I think we should get together. And I'm like, I think we should get together too. So, this staying in contact, this networking, this little dripping, this little touching will pay dividends to you and give you all these different leads. We're all always looking for a lead system. We're looking for like, how does so-and-so do it? Or how does this one do it or whatever? It's because they have more contacts. They're around more people. The same reason we got into the doctor market early on, when doctors used to work 5 days a week, all right, they had Wednesday off for golf, but a lot of them had a side job. We had one doctor he was a podiatrist, and he actually saw people in the jail on Saturday mornings. That was the first thing he wanted to give up. Could you imagine doing the toes of people in the jail or their feet, or how awful those people their feet must look? I can think of nothing worse, but that was the first thing he wanted to get up. They used to do in-person CME credits. They did hospital rounds. So they saw a lot of people. So they were a good fit for us because they were around a lot of people. So we just need to make sure that our networks are, being, attached and just talk to time and time again. So make sure that you're reaching out. That should be at least Monday through Friday. You should make sure that, I don't think 3 is too much. I don't think it takes very long to say hello to 3 people and start a conversation and just see where they're in life and see if we can service them. I think that's super easy. But, these are some other things that you can say to people. I believe you can get anybody you want in LifeVantage. I absolutely believe that. I just found out how I can get a free Jeep or $25,000. That might start a conversation with anybody. Or I'm excited about a new product that increased my exercise endurance. I just found out how to go to South Africa for free, or together. Do you want to go together? These are all things or opening questions that people will say, tell me more. So it's really easy to get the conversation going. This is what Bobby loves to do. He likes this third party approach, and he'll say, like, we just started this brand new company. Do you know anyone who is an entrepreneur, excluding the person I'm talking to? So do you know anybody other than you that's an entrepreneur that might be interested in this ground floor opportunity? People hate to be left out. They hate to be left out. You know anybody interested in learning how to get a Jeep for free? Well, what about me? I want a Jeep for free. Do you know anyone interested in taking a trip to South Africa? Do you know anyone who wants to work from home? Do you know anyone who loves to travel? I think that's going to be one of my Facebook posts next week is, do you know anyone who loves to travel? Because everybody loves to travel and they don't get to travel. And those that travel primarily travel for work, and they don't get to see anything other than their appointment, and they're generally back on a plane. And all these people will say me. So anyway, let me just stop the share. Okay, we're back. Okay. So, those are just some things that you can use, hopefully some scripts, some ideas on how you go about approaching people. But this is not a perfectionist game. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to reach out to 3 people, and 3 people will probably just very politely say, not today. And that's generally, the more successful a person is, the more they kind of let you down very easily. But you have to every day keep reaching out to people, because that's your funnel. It's not like the old days where we put a lead in and a certain amount of people come out. Our funnel is always very full at the top. That's when people, join us and fall through that funnel, if you've seen the funnel training. But you need to have a lot of different people. As our economy gets worse, and it's already starting to get worse, you better start talking opportunity, showing people, even if it's for women wanting to get product for free, I can show you how to get that collagen for free. I can show you how to get the glow package for free, or whatever it is. You have to be able to talk money with people. So again, going back to 36 customers, times that 112 gives us a diamond position of 4,000. What do we earn on 4,000? $1,200. Got to know those numbers. When we duplicate ourselves twice, they earn 400 because it's 4,000 times the 10%, 400 and 400 altogether, that's 2,000. You have to be able to show people how to make money these days. It's really easy. As you see, when Bobby does presentations, he takes that $50 and how many $50 do you need for your grocery bill? How many $50 for your phone bill or whatever's going on? You have to be able to show people at some basic level, depending on how much success they've had. If it's a stay-at-home mom, generally the picture doesn't have to be too big. If it's somebody that's been very successful, the picture has to be big. So you have to know how to finagle some different numbers. But all of this I do before I pick up the phone, before I, send that text, before I actually reach out to that person. I kind of have a path laid out of how I see this going down with some options. But again, those numbers, knowing those going forward are going to be super important to all of us. So anyway, hope that helps you with inviting people to the launch. It's going to be a really good one tomorrow, and we're excited about that. So, Bobby?
Hey, so like I said earlier, and we're gonna open it up for any questions or comments you might have in a sec, but there's different times of the month that, are more important than others. And this next window it's exactly 24 hours from right now that the launch starts. This next 24 hours is worth the time, energy, and effort to dive in, because there's something that you could really take advantage of tomorrow night. And that could make your whole month, because that'll still give you 3 days to close them up. We're not talking about being the last day of the month. You still have a few days, and then we carry momentum into March, and then we get the bump that we get from Nashville, and it just keeps going. Okay, so but anyway, that's the message for tonight. I wanted to leave a few minutes for any comments or questions that you may have based on what we shared. So it's open mic time. If you have something to share, either raise your hand or unmute yourself. Everybody's muted, so you have to unmute if you like to say something.
Bob, April, can I ask? This is Alex. Howdy.
Hey, it'd be nice to see your head, but go ahead. I like looking at your ceiling.
Hey, thanks for the colors. Being from California, thanks for the colors. Anyway, the consumable ×3 quote. Can you say that again, April?
So are you talking about like the 36 customers times the 100?
No. The collagen, I think it was earlier. You said it. How to attract somebody. Like I could say like a quote. I'm thinking of the females that a single guy like myself can speak of and get their attention.
Okay, so if I'm talking to a woman and I actually, you know what, that doesn't work for you. You cannot talk about another woman's cellulite.
Well, no, well, good friends, I would. Okay, you're true. But that's another point. I got to watch how I approach it. But with good friends, I guess I could. But
you know what?
Right.
If I were you, I would go after other guys. It's so easy when you're dealing with guys, and you know what? As much as I like dealing with women, men make decisions faster. They're more apt to take risk, and they get right to the money. So, why would you a guy selling skincare to a woman is kind of a weird thing, but you can talk money right away. I mean, what guy doesn't need to or want to earn money? I mean, it's especially, look at you. You could say, hey, I'm a single guy and I'm on a Zoom tonight with 25 other gorgeous women. Do you want to come join me? You got to just spin this stuff. I mean, you can have a lot of fun with this. It's just, you've got to put your personality into and
that would be a good way. That'd be a good way to get them to Nashville too, Alex. Just say, hey, there's going to be a couple thousand people there, and probably 1,500 of them are going to be pretty women.
Or single.
Now, they're not all single, but they are all pretty. So, you can use that and use the Gaylord Opryland Resort. That's a good draw. You got a lot of things.
Yeah, I wouldn't be lying, would I?
No, you would not.
Yeah, true. Thanks.
anyone else? Raise your hand or unmute yourself and go for it. Don't be shy. We're all friends. Funny, we had a lot of people out of town tonight. I know Fred was up. I don't know if it was a Life Vantage event. I know he had a hockey game to go to tonight. Kenneth, last minute, had to fly over to Denmark to do some things. That's where Kenneth's originally from. We had a lot of people texting. I know, I don't know if it was Dr. Goodman's birthday or not, but I know he was doing a birthday party with family tonight. Just, it seemed funny. It was a weird Sunday night where a lot of people were doing different stuff. So, but this is recorded. We'll get it posted for anyone that missed it. But anyone else got anything? Like I said, the next 24 hours, no matter what you were planning, make sure that guest for tomorrow night is the number one priority. Okay, that's the number one priority. And the one thing I appreciate about Dr. Goodman, he let me know he wasn't going to be on. He says, but I got 6 guests confirmed for tomorrow and still working on more. I said, good, that's good. I like that. So anyone else? Are we good? All righty, so let's take the time we got and start working on guests, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Try and log in about 5 minutes early, but it's the same link. Okay, the link that you used for tonight is the same link for tomorrow night. So we'll see you tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. And if you're in the middle, whatever it is in the middle, it's like, have a great night, everyone. It's good seeing you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Jackie. Bye.
Thank you.